And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. It's hump day, over the hump and through the woods to a wonderful weekend. We go in the final Wednesday in the month of November. Wow. Where's this year gone? We're down to 25 days till Christmas, shopping days till Christmas, and so we're here for show number 643, live at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We have oodles and lots to talk about. We've got calendars to show you. We've got Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl tickets to talk about, how you can enter to win. We're going to be giving those away on December the 20th here on the show. Can't wait. Thanks, Connie, for letting us do that. This is going to be much sought-after tickets to go to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in Atlanta. So the game's New Year's Day at 12:30. It is huge in the scope of things for college football, the national championship. So we're going to give you a chance to win these tickets to go see whomever is going to be in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl coming up on New Year's Day, beginning at 12:30 in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So good morning to you. We always start our show by dedicating the show to the man that hung on the cross, and we started today just like we do every day. Isaiah 41:10 is the verse of the day. It says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Does the bell work today? It does. I figured out I'm hitting it too hard. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So there you go. That's the verse of the day out of the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 41:10, and we dedicate the show to the man that hung on the cross. It is his show, and so we just keep our fingers in his belt loops and hang on because he guides us. And let me just say this, after lots of other ways being guided, I guess, through my life, being stubborn and mule-headed, I finally relinquished, and the old Hemp Hill song, Southern Gospel song, "He's Still Working on Me," to make me the way he wants to be, or make me the way I ought to be. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in the process. I'm in the continuing to get better mode, to be more Christ-like. Anyway, we say good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. We are at Chick-fil-A. We do have the peppermint chocolate chip milkshakes back in now for the holidays, which is awesome. We also have the streets of yesteryear. Check this out. Here's the calendar. Whoops, do it this way. Why is this not doing? Oh, I'm in the wrong camera. That's why. Streets of yesteryear. There it is. And so the Chick-fil-A calendar comes with a card here on the back. You can see the card right here. Oh, let's do it this way. Never mind. There's the card in the plastic. Good grief. I feel like Forrest Gump, motor skills. So anyway, there is the Streets of Yesteryear calendar. It's $8 plus tax. They're going like hotcakes. Connie said they are flying out of here. They always do. The Streets of Yesteryear. This is a 20th anniversary retrospective calendar. Of course, we have free food each month with the use of the Cal Calendar card that comes with the calendar. Makes a great stocking stuffer. Got them in stock. $8 plus tax. And as we said, to say they're flying out of here is an understatement. They are flat moving. And so get yours today here at the Crossing in North Johnson City before they run out, because once they're gone, they can't order back out. Once they're gone, they're gone. And they've been selling the whiz out of them. So we look and we start our show with, you talk about getting played. This is how I interpret it. I don't think Mike Gundy had any intentions, this is just me, of coming to Tennessee. I think he played himself into a pay raise. As you know, since yesterday we had a little blurb last night on Tom Taylor Facebook page. Mike Gundy interviewed for the job, Oklahoma State coach, and then turned around and said no to Tennessee after they offered him a 6-year, $42 million contract. That was more than Butch Jones was making. I'm sure it's more than Kiffin and Dooley were making. I don't know about Fulmer, but pretty good bread. And they told him no, or Gundy told him no. So he said, "Go Cowpokes," after the interview. So he is staying at Oklahoma State. So to me, it's another slap in the face of Tennessee football. So now they go back and reload the guns again. I don't think he had any intention of coming. He got snubbed the first time back in 2012 when when Tennessee hired Butch Jones. So Gundy interviewed yesterday, says no. He joins Dan Mullen, David Cutcliffe. I mean, there's a list longer. People told Tennessee no than they are the people showing interest. So it's really interesting. I have said all along with how things have unraveled in Knoxville, you and I may think it's a great job because we live here in Tennessee, but obviously there are certain factions and certain people in certain circles that don't think that anymore, because you would have thought people have been jumping through hoops to come be the coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. So anyway, Mike Gundy says no. That's the very latest. So they went back and readjusted, and they're looking at Dave Dorn to North Carolina State, Jeff Brome from Purdue are some of the names being kicked around. I go back to Fulmer again. Why not Philip Fulmer? He's there. Put him in the position for a couple of years. Tell everybody up front he's there for a couple of years. We're going to groom us a new coach. We're going to bring back, and all this is all contingent of whether these guys will do it. But you reach out to T. Martin, the offensive coordinator at Southern Cal, bring him back in a learning mode under the head coach as the offensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator could be a number of folks. Maybe some of the, I wouldn't say anybody's down on the staff now because their defense is pretty shaky to say the least this year. But anyway, Fulmer's got enough contacts. He can reach out and get him a defensive coordinator. He's there. He's a ball for life. He wants the program to succeed. It's not a stepping stone situation for Philip Fulmer. So from a PR standpoint, you couldn't ask for a better scenario because the waters are turbulent in Knoxville amongst the Vol Nation fan base, and they should be. And this guy could smooth him pretty quick. Well, we didn't like him before. Well, he's looking pretty good right now, I'm going to tell you. Whether you liked how he did it before or what he did or did not do as a head coach previous, the fact he's there and would be willing, I would assume. I know he's got his fingers very much in the hiring process now. Been told by some insiders in Knoxville. He has got his thumbprint all over this new hire. So I'm telling you, that from a PR standpoint, if you're hearing me in Knoxville, put this guy, if he'll do it, put this guy in A, the head football coaching position, and B, if the brain trust and the brass at UT, the administration's not pleased with John Curry, and I would think there's some down there that are not, then if you end up letting him go, you know what, this guy, by the way, as an athletic director, you talking about craziness? If you get rid of John Curry, he's got a buyout clause, $5 million buyout clause for the athletic director at Tennessee. I mean, it's absurd. Who agrees to these? I guess somebody has to sign off on this in these schools, these universities, not just Tennessee, but holy tamale. So you're reluctant to get rid of him because that's another $5 million. You got to write a check to this guy or give him lump sums to get him to ride off in the sunset. So that may not be the answer to get rid of John Curry, but if they do decide to make a sweep and roll him out of there too, Fulmer would be a great athletic director. There's lots of options. I'm not sure you have to look off campus at all. I think, again, I go back to it. I'm going to sound like a broken record till you prove me differently. You can send me a message on Facebook and tell me why Philip Fulmer wouldn't be the right choice on an interim basis or a temporary, short-term, couple-of-year basis. Put him down there, let him go out recruiting, let him go keep the kid, the Mays kid from Ox Catholic who's decommitted, get him back in the fold, get some of these guys back, and then, let it set for a year and let him go for, because your choices now, some of the marquee names are gone, so now you're looking at some of the second-tier coaches, it would appear. So that's what I would do. I would reach out to Fulmer and say, run this ship, right this ship for, we got an unhappy little fella right here. Yeah. Bless his heart. Gave him some ice cream. Sugar him up. That'd be good. Anyway, Fulmer's my choice to right the ship from a number of reasons. PR, X's and O's. He has the contacts to go out and put together a pretty quick staff. He can also begin to lay the groundwork to go out under the radar and get a permanent coach with his connections over the years. So it's a no-brainer to me, but they didn't ask me. I'm sitting here in Johnson City, again at Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. But anyway, Mike Gundy, you're asking me, no intention to come to Tennessee. I think he played him, and I think he's going to go back to Oklahoma State, probably get himself a pay raise. He's not making $7 million a year at Oklahoma State. He may get a pay raise now to keep him. We'll see, but anyway, he's not coming, bottom line. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday, November the 29th. Again, tomorrow's the last day of the month. Friday is December the 1st, brand new month. Friday we'll be on the road. We're going to be at Food City on Virginia Avenue in Bristol. Tomorrow we'll be at Champion Chevrolet. And so we just keep on keeping on here as we roll into the month of December. And we're looking forward to working all the way up to Christmas. We are going to take between Christmas and New Year's off, kind of shut her down and recharge the old batteries. But looking forward to working hard, getting out a lot of sports information between now and then. Jeremy Livesey joins us coming up in a little while, talking NBA, talking the Tennessee coaching situation. Jeremy, a big-time ball fan, so we'll get his very latest thoughts on it. Greg Salyer joins us, Hot Stove League, big time right now. We got a list of about 25 free agents, where they're going to go. A lot of the teams heading into the holidays are trying to shore up their teams before spring training starts in February. Got some NASCAR news. Your favorite drivers have been voted on and announced in the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series. One of the Cup drivers picks up a big-time sponsor heading into 2018. We'll tell you all about that. Also, later on, Dave Angie stops by to kind of just talk about sports in general. We've got basketball tonight. Tennessee hosting Mercer at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. And also the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State on the road at Fordham tonight. And so we'll talk more about that a little bit later on in the show as well in our college basketball segment. We've got the National Hockey League. We've got college basketball, top 25 from last night. We've got local basketball, high school sports from last night. So we're loaded for bear here at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City, home of the peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. Ooh, I like it. And they got it for the holiday season, and just no longer than I've been here, they have been wearing it out. Been making them left and right here. Peppermint chocolate chip milkshakes, again here at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We'll jump in and go. We'll take our first segment, our first true segment will be coming in. We'll be taking a look at college football. We'll do that coming up next year as we roll on this Wednesday, November the 29th, live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns. Scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. The best part of this show is what's not on the air. I mean, one of my buddies, Melissa, we just had a little visit here. It's a little tutorial about the peppermint chocolate chip milkshakes. Tom, small, large, small, large. So they're here, they're ready to roll, and they are going great guns. I'm going to get me one a little bit later on today. I'm Sator, I believe I can eat one. Here is the Steers of Yesteryear Chick-Fil-A calendar. The month of January says the most inspirational cow. Thank you, dear. That is so sweet. I got price points. The healthiest heifer in the month of May. The month of November, Steer Style Icon. The month of October is the Cal and Bell Hall of Fame. This is the Steers of Yesteryear calendar for $8 again at Chick-fil-A or the Crossings in North Johnson City, $8 plus tax. They can come in and get them, and I know folks are buying them, 5, 10 at a time for co-workers, office workers, stocking stuffers, you name it, they're doing it. And so it's going great guns. So hello to Melina Denny. Tom, we're outside. Okay, you're cracking me up. Well, thank you, Melina. I'm glad I can crack you up. That's good stuff. We're here live. Who do you think is going to be the new football coach at Tennessee? The Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page. Let me know. I'd love to find out who you think. And it's not going to be Mike Gundy. If you're out there watching and listening this morning, it's not going to be Gundy because Gundy has said thanks but no thanks. ESPN laying off 150 folks today, making the sports giant third major round of layoffs in 2 years. Again, confirming the layoffs in a memo to employees. ESPN President John Skipper. Sporting News, again, slashing $80 million in salaries the first time, laying off 150 more today, and primarily folks working behind the camera. So the first 100 went, including John Clayton, Trent Dilfer, Britt McHenry this spring. Again, they pink slipped 300 employees in the fall of 2015, so things aren't going good at ESPN, and so as a result, they have laid off today 150 more employees in the ESPN office in Bristol, Connecticut. So, needless to say, things ain't going real good right now for ESPN. What else is going on in college football? Let's see what's happening. We've got some stories we want to pass on to you here on this Wednesday morning. Only 2 days after Mississippi State coach, down. Come on over, big guy. Only 2 days after Mississippi State coach Dan Mullen left the program after 9 seasons to take the job of Florida Bulldogs have lined up his successor. Offensive coordinator Joe Moorhead from Penn State will be the new football coach at Mississippi State. There's been no announcement yet from Mississippi State, but McMurphy reporting the deal is expected to be completed in the next couple of days. Moorhead recently finished his second season as Penn State's offensive coordinator. Nittany Lions ranking second of the Big Ten, averaging 42 points a game. Come on over, big guy. 42 points a game. Feel like a doctor. Come over, sit. Come on over, big guy. Sit in the chair, the hot seat. Anyway, Joe Moorhead, offensive coordinator at Penn State, looks like he's going to be the man now for Mississippi State. Before going to Happy Valley, Moorhead was the coach of the Fordham Rams, where he went 38-13 and took the team out of the Bronx to 3 straight consecutive berths in the FCS playoffs. So Joe Moorhead, new football coach at Mississippi State, it would appear. Again, back to Mike Gundy. $4.2 million he was getting paid or is getting paid at Oklahoma State. Tennessee was going to pay him $7 million a year. I guarantee you he's not going to make $4 million now. Oklahoma State said, you stay right here. We're going to give you just a little bit more money. And so I think Mike Gundy played Tennessee. I don't think he had any intention of coming to Tennessee. That's just me. That's my opinion, of course. I'm entitled to it, but I don't think he had any intentions of coming. But I'll entertain him to get myself a pay raise. That's just me. Have nothing to base it on except a gut feeling. The college football playoff rankings were released late last night. We had it on the show. Came on the show last night on the Tom Taylor Facebook page. The top 4 now are Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's a good move? You think that's the best 4 right now out there? Clemson number 1, Auburn number 2, Oklahoma number 3, and Wisconsin number 4. And we'll see if that's the ones that my buddy Jeremy Livesey thinks here as he puts on the cans. Also, Arizona State Athletic Director Ray Anderson says their coaching position, replacing Todd Graham, one of the guys going to interview for this position, current ESPN analyst Herm Edwards. Now, that may be because they're cleaning house at ESPN, and old Herm's getting out of there before the guillotine. I don't know, before the blade falls down. But he is going to interview this weekend for the job, former coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. So Herm Edwards, again, is a candidate for sure in an interview process for Arizona State this weekend. That's what's going on in college football here as we are live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. Coming up, we're going to be joined by our buddy Greg Salyer. He's going to join us a little while talking Major League Baseball. Right now, let's bring him in, my buddy Jeremy Livesey from Movement Mortgage. Every time I go by his office, he says, I'm hammered. I'm rolling. Let's get his name up on the screen, too, because he's worthy of his name being there, and there he is.
Oh, look at that.
Look at you. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm glad you came by. I appreciate you coming by.
No problem.
Oh, yeah. So you and I talked yesterday at length about the fiasco going on down in Knoxville.
Yeah.
What do you think, big guy? What's the very latest? What's running through your mind about all this?
Well, I just like we spoke yesterday, I figured whoever they get, they're going to overpay.
Yep.
And then I heard you talking about Gundy, and he pretty much is following in the whole Les Miles pattern there. Get your name thrown out there, and then you'll get a raise. And Saban's the same way. When Texas had an opening, somebody threw out Saban's name and he got a $2 million raise. So he's playing the game.
Do you honestly think Gundy had any intention of coming to Tennessee? No, I don't either. I think he played Tennessee like a fiddle.
No, why wouldn't he?
Yeah. I
did the same thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he's making 4 now. He was going to make 7 at UT, so he's going to get a bump up in the old pay raise.
Yeah, he'll be in the mid-5s or around 6, yeah.
So by meeting with John Curry for an hour or two, got himself a probably $1 million raise. So at least.
And then John Curry had to pay for all the airfare too, so he's not out anything.
So where do we go from here? Dan Mullen said no. David Cutcliffe said no. Chip Kelly said no. Mike Gundy has said no. Gruden obviously is not coming, or you'd heard something.
I don't think he's even asked.
Unless he's, the ace in the hole, which I don't think so. Because at this point, you got to get somebody. You can't play cat and mouse anymore. And it's apparent Gruden's not coming. Kiffin's not coming. So where do you go? Who do you go get?
Personally, I'd like to see T. Martin if they can get him to come, or as we talked yesterday, I wouldn't mind having Sumlin or McElwain or anybody like that. Said they're all good coaches. They were just in a bad situation.
Why not Les Miles? Nobody's mentioned this guy. He won a national championship.
I think his age has a lot to do with it, and in his situation with his buyout from LSU, why would he?
Yeah. Guy's 64 years old, but he won a national championship. He's making money sitting at the house.
Yeah.
I'm sitting.
No stress.
Going to the mailbox every month, getting a check. So
Absolutely.
Tennessee's got to find somebody. To me, this whole thing, you tell me, I'm not a graduate of the University of Tennessee. I'm a proud graduate of Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. Go Herd. But we are Marshall. But I think it's an embarrassment.
That's instant clout, yes.
I just feel empowered by doing that. We are Marshall. But I really think, you tell me if I'm wrong, this is an embarrassment to the whole institution, UT, not just the sports program.
I mean, not really. I mean, I think if you're looking at it from the outside as an assistant who wants a big time job, it's still a big time job, but you can take advantage of it now. So like if T. Martin came, I mean, he could probably get in the $5 million range just for being who he is now, and the longer he waits, the more he'll get paid. So I said they've got till mid-December to get this thing taken care of for the early signing period, and if I were him, I'd milk it for all it's worth.
But who would milk it all it's worth?
Oh, T. Martin, if he actually was wanting to come.
Offensive coordinator, Southern guy,
yeah.
led him to national championship, and so he is definitely on the radar screen. I keep talking about Fulmer. He's down there, put him in there for a couple of years. You like that or not?
I personally like it. I don't think they'll do it. And I don't think he has a reason to do it. I mean, he loves UT football, but, I mean, over the last decade, if you're a UT football coach, you're hired to get fired. So I don't think Fulmer likes it right now. Everybody likes him. So why would he want to ruin his reputation?
I don't know, but it's an interesting time down in Knoxville.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about Movement Mortgage. What's going on with Movement Mortgage?
We're staying busy.
Well, that's good. That's what you want, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we do. We love it. This is the slow time of year from what I've heard, but I'm still waiting for that.
It hasn't slowed down yet for you, has it?
No, not at all.
It's been wide open, so I again, we are here live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, and so tell me about Movement Mortgage.
Right now we're, like I said, we're staying busy. We have our grand opening at our new office in Boones Creek on the 5th. So, please come out and see us and get some free food. But right now we're still just churning out loans.
We're going to be there too, broadcasting.
We'll be there.
Night, we're going to be there Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's this coming Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Right across the Boones Creek again. Movement Mortgage.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So,
a lot of people moving from out of town right now, so it's been good.
Melina just said, congratulations, Jeremy. Do you know Melina? You know Melina Denny?
Mm-hmm.
You know her?
Mm-hmm.
She's listening and watching. She says, congratulations, Jeremy, on the success.
From being on this show?
Yeah. Just being who you
This
are.
is a big step for a lot of people.
I think so.
I did get a free tea, so yeah.
Free lunch out of the deal too. So anyway, Movement Mortgage, what you specialize in is quickness, speed.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Basically we do upfront underwriting, so it does help up a lot, getting the paperwork in process quicker. And just for example, we had a closing yesterday afternoon. A couple moved down here from Minneapolis, and we went from start to finish, from application to closing in 13 days. 13 days.
Wow.
So, and it's not that other lenders can't do it, it's just they choose not to. So, we'll do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And going great guns by doing it.
Yeah.
So, Movement Mortgage, again, JeremyLucy.com is how you get a hold of it. And so, you can turn it in 13 days. Obviously, somebody can find a home, get pre-approved before, go out and shop and be in by Christmas.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. If they cooperate.
Which means give the information you need, right?
Which means do everything we ask to.
Yeah. So that's
She's waving to you.
She's waving to me.
I think so.
I can wave back at her. Hello. Does she know who I am? I don't know if she is. She's waving at you. She's not waving at me.
So I think she likes me.
What? That's not Derek.
No, it's not.
No.
That's the opposite of Derek. I do
You know who
remember.
she is?
I have no idea.
Okay, she's waving at you.
I remember her face. I think actually we work with her
It's
somewhere.
like travel with Elvis. This guy knows everybody. So
Yeah, my wife does not like that.
no.
We stay at home.
Do you? She
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
like you. Yeah.
No, she hates going out with me because I always find somebody I know.
Yeah. It is like travel with Elvis. It really is. So anyway, we're here live again. Movement Mortgage is what we're talking about, and we're all getting ready to talk about the NBA, and let's talk about that. Your volume on you as much as love, Jeremy, as much as good. So I'm not sure.
Who said this?
Folks are watching the show.
All right.
The headset is suddenly. I wonder what's wrong with the headset. I'll have to work on that here in a second. But I appreciate folks telling me that. So anyway, tell me yours is working fine. Let's talk about the NBA. Last night, Cleveland
Yeah, LeBron got ejected.
coming out.
Yeah, first time.
Won by 11 over Miami. First time ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
In his career, he's been thrown out of a ball game.
Mm-hmm. No, the first time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought he'd been thrown out of the
He had the I think the longest streaks now is Parker and Paul Gasol.
What instigated LeBron James getting thrown out of a ball game?
It looked like a bad no call there. He was going up to the rim in the third quarter, and he thought he got fouled or whatever, and apparently while he was running back down the court, he said some expletives to the referee, and he ended it with "you." And so I think when you direct it at the referee instead of just in general, that's a big no-no. So yeah.
It was a direct.
I think if it ends in "you" pretty much in that way, it's a bad thing. So I think that's what happened. So
Sit on your breath all day long, but you throw it you at the end of it. Gets
yeah, you throw it. Yeah, and I remember. What was it Jim Valvano? He told a story once. He went to a referee and had asked him, "Can you throw me out for what I'm thinking?" And he said, "No." He goes, "Well, I'm thinking you're a da-da-da-da-da-da," and he got thrown out. And so I thought that was funny that LeBron he made almost a half court, and he got thrown out.
Say hello to Aaron Ferguson. Aaron just
Hey, what's up, Ferg?
Ferg's up in Huntington, West Virginia. We are Marshall. I love it. So Ferg's
We as in them, yes.
I gotta get him back on the show. You talking about a guy who knows sports?
Yeah.
Can talk college football.
Yeah.
Ferg, you get you on one day this week, buddy. So yeah, I got a headset. I got to take a break here in a minute and work on. But while I'm doing that, You tell me about the NBA. Cleveland won last night.
Yeah.
Washington won. Phoenix won. Utah won. Milwaukee won. Got the standings here. Who's hot and who's not right now in the NBA?
Well, who's hot is Cleveland. They're on like a 9-game winning streak now. I think they've kind of figured out what they're missing, and having Derrick Rose on the bench is probably the best thing that's happened to him. But we'll see what happens with, what we're looking through. The Western Conference looks pretty much like it should be. Now the Eastern, it looks like Detroit being up that high is kind of surprising, but I think they'll fizzle out eventually. But Boston, I think, has finally hit their stride as what they're supposed to be. I mean, that long winning streak they had was, I want to say, it was a fluke, but they'll all be right. But I think at the end of the year, it'll be back to Cleveland. It'll be the same thing.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk to Greg Sire, talking Major League Baseball. We got that coming up, the Hot Stove League, a lot of free agents out there. We're going to talk about that. Dave Angie joins us a little bit later on. College football, you like the top four. You got Clemson.
Yeah.
You've got, this one totally blank.
Auburn.
Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin. You like the top four? You live with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad deal. But if I were Alabama, you better be hoping Ohio State wins, and you hope that Auburn wins.
Should Alabama be in the playoffs with
No.
one loss?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why?
Well, I mean, they got beat by Auburn for one thing, but like I said, if they're going to make the playoffs, Auburn's going to have to win, and then Ohio State's going to have to beat Wisconsin, and that's the only way they're going to get in and make it work. It's going to be the same thing that happened to them, a couple years ago with Ohio State getting in without winning the championship. But if the top four went out, it'll be Alabama be looking in.
Auburn's legitimate, obviously. They have defeated Georgia and Alabama this season, both previously number one teams in the country.
Yeah.
And so they'll play them Saturday in Georgia. I'm going to predict Georgia's going to win that game. Does Gus Malzahn leave Auburn and go to Arkansas?
No.
That's the
I don't know why he would.
That's the talk, but I don't know why he would now, because he's the bear-haired boy now.
Oh, yeah. And, and I was looking at, on the other side, got Miami's at 7 or something like that. And, they can make it in if they beat Clemson. I don't think they're going to. But, beating the number one team in the nation, the way it's set up right now, they would jump right over Alabama. But, Alabama's going to have a lot of help.
We'll get you to the picking panel here before I let you go. Again, we're talking about man Jeremy Livesey at jeremylivesey.com. We'll take a break here and work on this microphone, see what's going on with it. I appreciate folks letting me know that it's
Are you sputtering?
No, it just dropped out. I don't know what happened. It's not broke. It's something. I got to call my man Jeremiah Clark at Appalachian Digital and say, hey, work your magic and make it come back to life.
That's exactly how it works too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Call it. There's more to that, it's like help. So anyway, Stanford at Southern Cal Pac-12 Championship. Who do you like?
I like Stanford.
Like Stanford. All right. AAC Championship, Memphis at Central Florida. You like
I will say Central Florida.
All right. Scott Frost.
Although,
will he be in Nebraska?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
I don't know why. I mean, I understand why. He'll just have a hard time recruiting there.
Big 12, Texas Christian and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
All right. SEC, Georgia, Auburn.
I'm going to say Georgia because I think they learned their lesson a couple weeks ago, and they will right the ship. Yeah.
I'm with you. ACC Championship, Miami, Clemson.
I think Clemson's going to kill them.
Okay. And Big 10, Ohio State, Wisconsin.
I think Ohio State's going to beat them, and they're going to be really aggravated on Sunday afternoon. So.
There you go. Hey, speaking of college football, you want to be sure and get yourself entered to win 2 tickets to the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl. We're giving away on the 20th of December. Place a mobile carryout order here at Chick-fil-A, catering order including trays, plus other ways to enter, found on Facebook and Instagram at CFAJC. You want to get on there and find out how you can win. It's New Year's Day, 12:30 in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Go to CFAJC, the Facebook and Instagram, and it'll let you know how you can get qualified to win. Get 2 tickets to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. That's one of the Final Four in college football. That's huge. It's already a sellout. Chick-fil-A's got a couple of tickets because it's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Yep.
And so place a mobile carryout order here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. A catering order, including trays, that also qualifies you, or other ways to enter, found on Facebook and Instagram at CFA, Chick-fil-A, obviously, JC. Hello, Jim Miller, CFA JC. How you doing, Bubba? Living the dream. Yeah. Somebody just go up and pushed him.
I'm gonna say.
There's a fight.
I'm gonna say. We have a brawl out here.
There we go. I understand why he pushed him. So it's a surprise that throat punch him.
Yeah.
New Year's Day,
Made fun of his
12:30
mom.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
You give him one on December the 20th. It'd be nice to win that, wouldn't it?
That's a good ball. That's a good ball game to go to.
Oh baby, and we're gonna give away tickets for that. So
It's a nice area, nice venue.
You've been there.
I'm not been to the Mercedes. I'm not been to the new one.
You went to the Braves. Braves ballpark, which is not this, but it's nice too, right?
Oh yeah, they're all nice. Yeah, Atlanta likes to rebuild stadiums after 3 or 4 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they go well too.
Yeah.
All right, you hungry?
I am actually.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a growing boy. I'm gonna get some nuggets.
Get you some nuggets.
Yeah.
Taking some back to Brittany.
Probably not.
Sorry, Brittany.
She asked me not. She didn't say she wanted anything. I'll get her a cookie.
Get her a cookie.
Yeah.
Go see Miss Judy and rock on, brother.
Thanks, sir.
JeremyLivesey.com. Movement Mortgage will be at his place on Tuesday. Again, tell us one more time about the open house.
Open house is Tuesday at 4 o'clock till 7. We have the ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce. And we got some live music, some Christmas tunes being played, and free food and all kinds of other goodies.
Yep.
And I'll be there. I might wear a tie.
There you go. Oh, tell them about the sweater.
We have there's a drawing online. If you text Tacky MM to 44222, you get entered into to win this ungodly ugly sweater. Yeah, on behalf of one of our insurance partners. So, but you have to wear it in public if you do win it.
There you go. You gotta wear it out in public.
You gotta wear it.
To be seen wearing a tacky, blinking sweater.
Yeah, Walmart's probably preferable, so you'll blend in. But yeah, it's hideous.
There you go.
Yeah.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. My man Jeremy Livesey. Check him out at JeremyLivesey.com with Movement Mortgage. And again, speed is Barney told Andy. And that's what they can do and do it quickly.
That's right.
Closed one and turned it around in 13 days.
13 days.
Handed somebody the keys to the house and said, go for it.
They were happy as can be.
That is incredible.
Yep.
Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-Fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, $23,995. 17 track, $17,548. 17 Cruise, $16,488. 17 Spark, $10,950. 17 Malibu, $18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. Another college football note, Jimbo Fisher may be gone at Florida State. Florida State, the Seminoles already starting to put a backup plan in place, and they're beginning to talk to Willie Taggart, the coach at South Florida. And this year, of course, he's at Oregon. He went 10-2 at South Florida 2016, 7-5 this year in his first season with Oregon. So, again, at South Florida, he recruited the state well. His high-powered offense and in-state ties believed to be a good fit for the 41-year-old from Bradenton, Florida. And so, again, Jimbo Fisher, if he does leave for Texas A&M, they're talking about getting Willie Taggart from South Florida to be the new coach at Florida State. That's very much premature and very much up in the air. What else going on? NBA, as we told you last night, Cleveland with an 11-point win over Miami. LeBron James tossed for the first time ever. Did not know that until Jeremy told me that. So you got to figure something went real wrong for LeBron, who's usually getting beat up and pushed around a lot anyway. He's muscled a lot just because of who he is. He finally snapped and got kicked out of the game. First time ever. Cavaliers win it by 11. Washington with a 3-point win over Minnesota. Phoenix with a 5-point win last night over Chicago. Utah blows out Denver 106-77, and Milwaukee beat Sacramento 112-87 in the NBA. Tonight, who's playing where? You've got Washington and Philadelphia, Oklahoma City and Orlando, Detroit hosting Phoenix. Miami will be in New York against the Knicks. Toronto, the Raptors at home, taking on Charlotte. Minnesota, New Orleans. Houston hosting Indiana. Brooklyn at Dallas, Memphis at San Antonio to battle the Spurs, and Golden State, the world champion Golden State Warriors in LA at the Forum to battle the Los Angeles Lakers coming up tonight in the NBA. National Hockey League from last night. Florida, or actually Nashville, will start there. The Predators skate past Chicago 3-2. The Preds go 15-6-3 on the season. Blackhawks drop to 12-9. Also, you have Florida skating past the Rangers 5-4. San Jose 3-1 winners over Philadelphia. Tampa Bay 2-0 winners over Buffalo. Columbus, the Blue Jackets, in a shootout, beat Carolina 3-2 in Columbus. New York, the Islanders 5-2 win over Vancouver. They go 15-7-2. The Los Angeles Kings go into Detroit and pin a 4-1 loss on the Detroit Red Wings on the ice. Toronto defeated Calgary 4-1. Edmonton skated past Arizona 3-2. And Dallas goes into Las Vegas and blanks the Golden Knights 3-0. Tonight on the ice, Tampa Bay skates at Boston, Ottawa at Montreal, Anaheim, the Ducks in St. Louis to skate against the red-hot St. Louis Blues, and Winnipeg will be in Colorado to skate against the Avalanche. And that is a look at the National Hockey League and the NBA. On this Wednesday, again, we're live at Chick-Fil-A. Don't forget they've got the peppermint chocolate chip milkshakes in for the holiday season, both small and large, and they are flying out of here today. So are the calendars. Let's show you the calendar again. The Chick-fil-A calendar, there it be, right there. The Steers of yesteryear, the 2018 calendar. Again, you see each month here on the back. You can't, but trust me, it's there. Each month is there with a theme. Right here is there it is, the little digital card you get. And when you swipe that every month, you get some free food at Chick-fil-A. These are $8 plus tax, and they are flying out of here. The Steers of yesteryear, the 2018 calendar, again, available here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So you would want to, again, get those as fast as you can because they are selling out, I'm telling you. I was talking to Connie for There, the marketing lady, and it's incredible how fast they're selling. And folks are coming in buying them, not just one or two at a time, but 4, 5, 6, 7 at a time. So they're flying out of here for sure. College basketball coming up tonight. Let's see who's playing where in college hoops. You have tonight 4th-ranked Villanova hosting Pennsylvania. 13th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels taking on Michigan. 24th-ranked Alabama, Louisiana Tech. You've got 15th-ranked Gonzaga, the Bulldogs, hosting Incarnate Word Cardinals. Interesting team. TCU hosting Belmont. You've got ranked teams, Minnesota, the Golden Gophers hosting the Miami Hurricanes, both undefeated in men's college basketball. A top-ranked Duke will be taking on Indiana tonight. The Dukies at 8-0. Is that right? I got to put my glasses back on. The Dukies at 8-0. Yes, against Indiana's 4-2, so they'll play tonight. Those are two storied programs for sure. Duke and Indiana going at it tonight in men's college basketball. As we told you, Tennessee plays tonight, hosting Mercer. Tip-off again at 7 o'clock at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. Also tonight, you've got the East Tennessee State Buccaneers on the road at Fordham to battle the Rams. So those games happening tonight in men's college basketball. We'll take a quick break, come right back. We got some news coming out of NASCAR. We'll tell you about that. Got the most popular drivers have been announced in the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series. We'll tell you all about that coming up next here. So we're live at Chick-Fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
Tom Douglas Sports Show. We're live here again. We are at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City, and there he is, our buddy Greg Sauer, the Major League Baseball update. Yes, I know my microphone, for whatever reason, is not working. We have tried to do a quick repair, and to no avail, thanks to Jeremiah Clark anyway, from Appalachia Digital, my IT guy. He's even out of town working, and he called and tried to step it through. Anyway, I know it's not working. I was having to scream real loud, so anyway, or just lean over and be real close to my buddy.
Yeah.
Greg Sauer, Major League Baseball update. How are you? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I did. It was really good. Wife's family came up from North Carolina. My mom came over, and we did everything at our house on Thanksgiving Day, and it was good.
So, Hot Stove League, Major League Baseball update. What's going on? We talk about it year-round because this really is a busy season. It's going to get cranked up pretty quick. And what's the very latest? What's the story on Stanton? Marlins gave it.
Well, Stanton, I'll tell you, he submitted a list of teams that he would approve a trade to, and of course, I don't think that list has been made public, at least not to my knowledge. But you can imagine a few of the teams that may be on that list. I imagine the Dodgers are probably on that list, and maybe a couple other teams that we could think of. But I'll be surprised if he is in Miami when the season starts next year.
Well, I got a story here today. The Marlins management comes out and says he has a full no-trade clause. He's got to prove anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the Dodgers. The Marlins want to get rid of him because he's got a 10-year, $295 million remaining on his contract. So they say you can hit 59 home runs all you want to, but we ain't paying $295, $29 million a year for the next 10 years. So the Marlins told him in October if he refuses to waive his no-trade clause and go somewhere, he would remain a Marlin, and team officials will look to trade off other players to reduce the payroll, which really puts him in a bad spot.
Yeah. They can't trade off enough players to get rid of what they're paying him and still have a team on the field. I mean, they just can't do that. I just don't see that they have the possibility of doing that. If they're going to field a team that's going to be competitive at all, they can't do that. I mean, they're going to have to get rid of Ozuna. They're going to have to get rid of Yelich. They're going to have to get rid of guys that really aren't making huge amounts like Stanton is, but guys that are really important to them as far as winning games.
Do I want to play for a team that's threatened me like that? And if I'm Stanton, I'm out. Give me anywhere. That's what they want. They put him in a corner, but when you threaten me, that's exactly what's come up to. Either you take this trade clause wherever we send you, we're going to start shipping off other players. I mean, I don't want to play for somebody. Derek Jeter, the one's involved in the management now?
Yeah, it's Jeter and a few other people, and it's interesting to see how they will do. I mean, I don't know that they're going to do like Wayne Huizenga did. What was it, 97? They won the World Series, and then the next year they had like one player left that was on that team. He just got rid of everybody. I just don't see that they're going to be able to do that in this day and time. But that's what it will amount to if they carry out this threat that they've made to Stanton.
Dr. Greg Sauer, we're live here at Chick-Fil-A The Crossing in North Johnson City. The new peppermint chocolate chip milkshake is out, small and large. Price point small is $3.15, large is $3.59, and I got a $3.15 written all over me when I get off here. I'm going to drink me a peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. I know my headset's out. I appreciate the continuing. That's a good thing. People tell me people are watching. Aaron Ferguson up in West Virginia said your mic's low. So unless I sit on your lap, which I'm not going to do, we'll just have to work our way through it. Dave Angie comes up here in a little while to join us, so we will have it fixed by tomorrow. We're at Champion Chevrolet. I don't know. It was working perfectly. It just went out. I don't think it. I don't know. This is modern technology.
Yeah, that's how it
These
works.
are the days we see this go shooting across the room as a frisbee.
Oh yeah.
So, but that won't accomplish anything. Remain cool, my dad used to say, be cool. All right, Carlos Beltran.
Yeah.
Yankees don't have a manager yet.
They do not.
Talk to Beltran. The guy has no managerial experience. Tell me why the Yankees can't find a manager.
Yeah, a month ago he was playing.
Yeah.
He was in the World Series a month ago, and now he's interviewing for the Yankees managerial job. I think the Yankees are looking for a name. I think that's what they're looking for. I think they're looking for somebody who maybe has been there before, which he has. And I think they're looking for a named guy that can come in and perhaps immediately have the respect in the clubhouse that a Yankee manager has to be successful. I mean, some of the guys that they've mentioned as far as replacements would probably be good managers. But they're not those name guys. And I think for the Yankees, that's really what they're looking for. And I think that's why they're looking at Beltran. This is not unprecedented. Other guys have retired and gone right into managing. Some guys, Frank Robinson and Lou Boudreau, some of those guys, they were player managers. Pete Rose were player managers. And so that's something the guys were managing even before they retired. Now he's a month into retirement, and the Yankees may be making him their manager. So, let's put it this way. He has been interviewed for the job. That doesn't mean he has the job, but it means they're interested. And, they may have liked what they heard. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? But, I think he would probably do as good a job as anybody else that they've talked about.
This is number 6 as far as managerial candidates who have interviewed or talked about. So we'll see. Beltran, apparently, he played for the Yankees 14 through 16.
Yeah.
He's been around. He knows many Yankee players from his time with the team, including Rookie of the Year Aaron Judge. He also is bilingual, which is huge in this day and age as a manager. The problem is, the old adage, some can play it, some can coach it. Very few can do both. Just because you're good on the field, that means you're good as a manager. So.
Yeah, Ted Williams proved that.
There you go. A lot of guys have proved that. Pete Rose, Tony Perez. There's a lot of guys that can play it, but not necessarily very good at managerial.
Well, Tony Perez wasn't given much of a shot, though. Let's face it.
That's probably an unfair statement. But yeah, there's a lot of
by either team that he managed.
Exactly. He's my all-time favorite player, so yeah, he didn't get a good shot. But point being, just because you play it, I mean, you can manage it and keep the guys happy and the clubhouse happy. So we'll see. The Yankees still don't have a manager. We're talking to Greg Sire, talking Major League Baseball. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. Yes, I know my headset's out. Thanks again. They continue to send me texts, and I appreciate that. So we're just kind of leaning this way so you can hear me, and I know it's low, but Jeremiah said you bell or loud so they can hear you anyway. I don't know how to take that. Is that a compliment or is that a slang? You bell or loud, they'll be able to hear you. So, okay. So, here we go. Got some free agents. Got some guys out here. I'm going to see what you think.
Oh, yeah.
We can't go through all of them for the sake of time. We get a lot of them. First round, these are some of the free agents. These have kind of been stacked together. First round out there, J.D. Martinez, Yu Darvish, Lorenzo Cain, Jake Arrieta, and Eric Hosmer. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? If you need a middle of the lineup bat and you need an outfielder, J.D. Martinez is on your radar. That's for sure. This guy is phenomenal. He has shown it this past year. Was lighting it up in Detroit. Went to the Diamondbacks and I think even stepped it up a notch when he went there. So I think he's a guy that a lot of teams are going to be looking at. I hear the Cardinals maybe, and of course they're the perfect team, I think, for him, just because they do have a need for an outfielder and a good power bat that they really don't have. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go there. You mentioned Darvish. Darvish is, I could see him going back to the Rangers, to be honest with you. I think they're really interested, and they're probably going to be competitive in that. The Dodgers would probably still like to keep him, and we'll see what happens with that as well.
I've heard the Twins are also interested, too.
The Twins are in on everybody. I mean, I'm hearing Twins with every free agent just about. So that's an interesting thing. If the Twins, the way the Twins played this past year, if they get a third of the guys that's rumored they're after, they'll win the division handily next year. Forget about the wild card.
Yeah, we're talking to Greg Sire again, Major League Baseball. I'm pretty excited. The Twins being taken over by Boyd Sports and Elizabethton. I'm not excited about a beer garden in Elizabethton. I can tell you that.
No.
I'm excited about them. So it's kind of a trade-off. We'll get some folks in there that are going to probably step up in a lot of different avenues, but then incorporating a beer garden, which doesn't do a thing for me anyway. That's neither here nor there. Darvish maybe going to the Twins. Lorenzo Cain, Jake Arrieta, what do you think?
Lorenzo Cain, if you look at pure numbers, maybe he's not on the level of some of these other guys, but if you look at what he brings to a team, he is a solid major league player that I think he's going to have numerous teams make offers to him. Don't be surprised if we go into the winter meetings and he makes a move. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't step it up a notch there with his discussions, and he may be one of the first guys signed.
We're talking to Greg Sauer, talking Major League Baseball. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the home of you like peppermint chocolate chip milkshake?
Love it. I'm glad it's back. I had one last year, and yeah, I'm glad it's back. Yeah, I probably will.
Yeah, why not? Blow it out.
Go ahead and tell Miss Judy, just get it ready for me.
That's it. A little whipped cream and cherry on top, and peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. It'll set you free here at Chick-Fil-A. Jake Arrieta, where's he going?
Arrieta. Yeah. I've heard that Indians would like to have Arrieta. Now think about that. That would be a move. If the Indians were able to do that, I think that would put them up there with the Astros in the American League. I mean, they're right there with them anyway. But if they could sign a pitcher like Jake Arrieta, they would be right there. Other teams are probably in. I think either the Yankees or the Red Sox would be in on Arrieta as well. And the Twins once again. Hosmer, you mentioned Hosmer. I really think the Royals want to keep him as much as they possibly can, and I think they have a limit on what they can do, and they're not going to be able to do what some teams could do. But I think the Royals really are going to do everything they can to keep Eric Hosmer and maybe Moustakas too. But a lot of teams are in need of a third baseman.
We'll go to the first 5 rounds for the sake of time, but there's 25 out there. Well, that'll be 25 Popeyes or 25 all day long. That's that West Virginia math coming out. Old Jethro Bodine said, "Odd times odd, still not," ain't it?
Yeah.
There you go. So anyway, let's take off and talk with Mike Moustakas, Lance Lynn, Alex Cobb, and Zach Kozart. What do you think?
Yeah, Moustakas. A lot of teams are looking for a third baseman. Yankees would like to have him. I think once again Cleveland would like to have him at third base as well. So those teams are in, I believe. Lance Lynn, interesting guy. Had surgery, came back, was able to have a great season last year, and I think he would. St. Louis would probably like to re-sign him. I don't know that they will. I think another team may make an offer that he just can't refuse. Look at maybe Boston. He just seems to me to be a guy that would be a fit in Boston. And they're all. And I mean, if you think about who's looking for pitching, well, everybody. There's all 30 teams are looking for pitching, so you can never have enough.
Alex Cobb, Zach Kozart.
Alex Cobb, wow. The A's just keep developing these pitchers that just become really good stud pitchers. I can see maybe the Dodgers in on Cobb. I could see him going out there. I don't know that they would want to pull the trigger there. Zach Kozart, he's staying with the Reds. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I think they've got some ideas in mind in case he doesn't. But I think he would give the Reds a home team discount. We'll see what happens there. But I think he likes to play there. I would be surprised if he moves.
This guy over the last 3 seasons has averaged 34 home runs this season. That's pretty stout. Todd Frazier with the Yankees. Where's he headed?
Yeah, I don't think he'll stay there. I think he's going to be going somewhere. And I'm not sure where. He's a guy that I just really don't know. He's probably the one guy that the Twins aren't after because of Sano at third base. But they unless they're looking for a DH, which he would be a phenomenal DH, but then you're kind of wasting a little bit of a glove there at third. I really can't tell you where I think he's going to end up. A lot of teams probably in on him though.
Talking to Greg Sauer, talking to free agents for Major League Baseball for 2017. And again, the 18th season spring training starts in February for a lot of folks. So again, it's not that far away. You say it is, Tom, but no, it really isn't. About 60 days out, you start all over again in spring spring training, a little over 60 days. Third round of free agents, Carlos Santana. What's interesting is look at this list. It's sprinkled with a lot of former Reds. Todd Frazier,
Jay Bruce.
Cozart's out there, but he's still a current Red. But Carlos Santana, Wade Davis, Logan Morrison, Jay Bruce. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see the Mets in on Santana. I could see the Mets trying to go after Bruce again. I don't know that they will. I don't know that he showed that he could really play in New York. But I could see either one of those guys going there. Wade Davis, that is a crapshoot. I mean, every team probably will be after Wade Davis and Greg Holland. Teams are looking for guys like that for the ninth inning. When I say every team, I mean some teams already have established closers that they're ready for. But they may have a guy that they think, well, maybe he could be our eighth inning guy instead of a closer, and they'll move one of those other guys in. Logan Morrison, he hits for a lot of power, but the average is usually not there. He had a good season this past year for him, but. He's played a lot in Florida, played for the Marlins, and now with the Rays. I could see maybe the Rangers or a team like that's looking for a decent power bat, and maybe he would be a guy to go there.
Jay Bruce and also Jonathan LaCroix, the Rockies catcher, was in Milwaukee. There's two more free agents out there. So what we're doing is kind of just giving you a quick who's out there and where your favorite team may be headed, trying to get some of these guys to kind of bolster their team and short up for 2018. Jay Bruce and Jonathan LaCroix, what do you think?
Yeah, Jay Bruce. I can see Cleveland trying to make a play to keep him. I think he was a good fit for them. I could see him with a team like the White Sox, who are trying to do something a little bit different, bring in some young players, but maybe need some clubhouse presence there, and bring in a guy like Jay Bruce that would maybe have a settling influence in the clubhouse. And I could see him going to a team like that. Maybe the Tigers even. I mean, they're going to have to do something if they're going to be somewhat competitive. So they're going to have to make some moves as well. And LaCroix maybe to the Tigers.
Fourth round, Greg Holland, Addison Reed, Yonder Alonso, CC Sabathia, Carlos Gomez. Who jumps out on the fourth round? Some of the guys can really help somebody.
Yonder Alonso jumps out big time for me. He got traded in the middle of the season. He was with the A's and went to the Mariners. The Mariners tried to make that push, couldn't quite get over the hump there. But Yonder Alonso had a great season. He's a guy that I voted for the All-Star game several times. He was really hot there right before the voting closed. And I think he's a guy that could really help a team. Addison Reed is a pitcher that can do just about anything. He can be a long man. He can be a short man out of the bullpen. He's a very valuable player. CC Sabathia, he may be a little cost prohibitive for a lot of teams. A lot of teams may not be after him just because of what he's going to cost them. He's not the youngest guy out there either. So, look for him to maybe get a 1 or 2 year deal somewhere, but he's not going to get much more than that.
Wellington Castillo, the catcher for the Orioles. Mike Minor, Kansas City Royal right pitcher. Right-handed pitcher. Brandon Morrow from the Dodgers, right-handed pitcher. Give me your thoughts on those three.
Yeah, I can see the Dodgers going after Addison Reed if they don't get Morrow back. Neil Walker, he might go back to Pittsburgh. That might be a possibility for him. I don't know that they really have a spot for him on their team right now, but he was a well-beloved player there, and I could see him going there. He could also end up with one of those American League Central teams, I think, and help them go over the top for next year.
There you go. That's what we're talking about, some of the free agents. Some of them, not all of them, some of the free agents. He's got a story on Major League Baseball, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the list is out.
Hoffman and Chipper, and let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame ballot is out. And of course, I guess you heard about Joe Morgan's letter that he wrote to all the voters, saying, "Do not let these steroid guys in." Interesting that a Hall of Famer said that, but of course it came along with, I don't know if you call it a threat or a promise, that if these guys get in, we won't show up for their induction ceremonies. Now, evidently there's quite a few Hall of Famers who have made that commitment that if certain guys get in, we're not coming. And, that's That would be, yeah, that's pretty strong. I mean, that would be hard on a guy, you know, say, okay, I'm going to be sitting here with them next year. Well, they might not come back next year to sit beside you. So, you know, I personally agree with him. I don't think those guys should be in either. You know, I mean, you know, Rafael Palmeiro, 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. He's not on the ballot anymore. You know, Sammy Sosa, over 600 home runs. You know, these guys just shouldn't be in. And you know, mention somebody like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. I mean, guys that's pretty well known. They were doing something. They were getting some kind of advantage. So, my opinion, you know, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't have put Bud Selig in just because he was over baseball during the period when all that was going on. That's my opinion. Yeah, he's getting in, but, you know, my opinion would be keep him out as well. Or he got in. You know, but if I had a vote, you know, I'd vote for Guerrero. I'd vote for Vladimir Guerrero, Trevor Hoffman. I didn't care for Chipper Jones as a player, but I'd probably have to vote for him for the Hall of Fame. He's got the numbers. You know, Edgar Martinez. I think he deserves to be there. Fred McGriff. Love the crime dog. Love to see him there. Oh, love to see him get in. I think Mike Mussina deserves a shot. Kurt Schilling. Jim Thome, which is kind of questionable for me a little bit, but Omar Vizquel. Now, Omar Vizquel is an interesting one. He played 24 years in the major leagues, over 2,700 hits. But if he gets in, he'll get in because of his glove. And, you know, and he's one of those guys that you compare him to somebody like Ozzie Smith, and he looks great.
So how many can get in?
You can vote for as many as 10, but nobody does.
So typically, 4 or 5 in.
Yeah, 3 or 4. And that includes the guys from the Veterans Committee as well. So if I was going to guess, you know, I would say Chipper Jones will get in. Yeah, probably Guerrero and maybe Hoffman, just because of how their votes were last year. But that would be my guesses. I think Edgar Martinez might be close, but I think everybody else is going to fall short.
There you go. Here it is, the Steers of yesteryear. This is the calendar going on right now, $8 plus tax. There's a card on the back that you take with you everywhere. It gets you free food every month at Chick-Fil-A. And as Connie told me before the show started, she said they are flying through these. Folks coming in and buying 8, 10, 12. I think some guy came in and bought a case. So
wow.
$8 a pop plus tax makes a great stocking stuffer. Makes a great gift for a coworker, employee, for a pastor.
Absolutely. I have the 2017 card in my pocket as we speak. So
for your pastor, Sunday school teacher, friend, coworker, in-law, outlaw, whomever, Steers of yesteryear. There's the calendar. And again, for example, the month of I don't know who does the marketing for these folks. They have a firm that does it. Come up with some crazy stuff. August, the Callum Bell Hall of Fame. October, the Steers style icon. November's the greatest trailgazer. December's the greatest T-bone. January is the most inspirational cow. Now, these are some of the
is that a hippo he's riding?
Which one?
November.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hippo.
Greatest trailgazer. So there it is. As we said, the Steers of yesteryear, the 2018 cow calendar. Right now for limited time, supplies are limited. Also wanted to tell you that we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl. Coming up on the 20th on the show here at noon. The game itself, New Year's Day, 12:30 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It's one of the Final Four of college football. Of course, it's a huge game. Don't know who's going to be in it yet. Doesn't matter. It's sold out. But Chick-fil-A here has swirled by a couple of tickets to give away. How do you enter? Players got mobile carry-out order here at this store at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. A catering order, including trays, and other ways to enter are found on the Facebook and Instagram. That would be CFAJC. CFAJC. We'll announce that on December the 20th at noon here on the show. And somebody's going to be at a sold-out football game that's going to be a dynamite game. Chick-fil-A
wow.
In Atlanta, Georgia. So go to the website. So go to the Facebook and Instagram at CFA, which obviously Chick-fil-A, J.C. Johnson City. So there you go.
I'm going to get my daughter to teach me how to do that online or that order on my phone. I've got the app, just haven't figured out how to do it yet. My daughter does it all the time, but
Peppermint chocolate chip milkshakes.
it's in my future. Yeah, it's in my future today.
The immediate future.
Yeah.
What do you want to leave us with today, big guy?
Well, Aaron Judge, he had some surgery.
The Yankees guy?
Yeah, he had shoulder surgery. Yeah, it's been a while now since he did that. But he had that little dry spell there right after the All-Star break, and then turned it on at the end of the season. He was often seen with ice packs on his shoulder. For an outfielder, you don't see that very often. You see pictures like that all the time, but not for an outfielder. So Aaron Judge had some stuff cleaned up, let's put it that way. Just nothing serious, just had some junk taken out of there, and he's going to be ready for spring training. But yeah, I mean, when the guy's Rookie of the Year, that's something we need to talk about.
Sure. I mean, home runs
52. Yeah.
Big boys, 6'7".
114 RBIs. Yeah, absolutely.
Out of baseball, college football, the debacle continues at Tennessee. Mike Gundy, I don't think he had any intent to come here except to get himself more money. He went from $4 million. Tennessee's going to offer him $7 million, so he's going to get a pay raise to stay. The big money man behind Oklahoma State is T-Bone Pickens. He's got the money. So I think Gundy played Tennessee like a fiddle.
I think he probably did. I went to the chiropractor yesterday, and the chiropractor started talking to me about this. And I said, so who do you think it's going to be? He said, I think it's going to be Lane Kiffin. And I said, are you serious? He said, absolutely, I'm serious. He said, who else is going to take that job at this point? And I said, yeah, that's a good point to make. Who else is going to take that job?
Cutcliffe says thanks, but no thanks. Dan Mullen says no. Chip Kelly says no. This guy meets with him whether it's intention. And I'm speculating. I wasn't there. I don't know these people from Adams House kids, but it just looks like to me that he's played them to get him a pay raise. But
yeah, I mean, I would have been interested in Gundy. I think he might have been a decent choice. So
obviously, Greg Schiano's not coming. So I've said it. I'm sound like a broken record again. Here's my solution to the whole thing. Number one, it's a PR nightmare. It's an embarrassment, University of Tennessee, all the way around. Not just academic, not just athletics, but to me, academics as well. What's going on down there? You got the guy in place for a year or two. Put Fulmer in there as the coach. He's going to get these decommits to stick around. All these former balls, they said they're going to close up their checkbook because of the way things are going. They're going to come back around. Most notably, Albert Hainsworth says no more money to UT. They show me they're serious about their football. So you bring Fulmer in, you tell everybody, including him, 1 year, maybe 2 years, that's it. At least 1 year. Go get T. Martin if he'll do it. Offensive coordinator from Southern Cal, come back to Tennessee, room him as a head coach. There's all kinds of variables, but to smooth out the turbulent seas, I say you go. Just Fulmer's there. He's in town. He's on staff in an ambassador capacity, and I think it solves a lot of problems. You don't have to go out and get anybody. You got him. He's got enough connections to put together a staff pretty quickly. He can do the recruiting part of it. The biggest thing is Cade Mays, kid from Knox Catholic, not to decommit, go to Clemson. So to me, I think the answer is on a short-term basis is on campus, but everybody looks at me like I'm smoking something. So I got too much sugar in my system from the peppermint chocolate chip milkshake.
Well, I mean, I'd go out there to say that I'll go out on a limb and say he never should have been fired to begin with.
Pretty good now.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Hamilton was really stuck between a rock and a hard place when he made that decision, and I've actually heard him discuss that publicly. Mike Hamilton's a good Christian man, speaks at some big events, and I heard him at the Lifeway Men's Conference a couple years ago, and he spoke publicly about that and what a terrible time he went through trying to decide what to do there with Philip Fulmer. And I don't think he made the right decision, but I mean, he does, and he sticks with it. And, and a lot of people, I guess, some people at least agreed with him. But let's face it, it's kind of been a train wreck ever since for 10 years now. It's been a train wreck. So.
I call Tennessee football Norfolk and Southern. It's a train wreck. So.
Yeah. It's one of those. I love. Yeah. I love. I love Tennessee football, and they. It's one of those things right now where I'm kind of like, I just wish I wasn't such a big Vol fan, but I am. So. I got green on today. Yeah.
We are Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall did. By the way, little Aaron Ferguson watching up Huntington again. Aaron alerted me that my headset went out, and it did. And so we're a one headset guy today, but that's okay because Dave Angie, he'll talk loud. We'll be able to hear him coming up.
Oh yeah.
You ready to go eat?
I'm ready to eat.
All right. See you next week.
All right, I'll be here.
Yes.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-Fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-Fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-Fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-Fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
That's me. There it is.
There it is. It's amazing we hit the right button. Headset's still not working, but you've got yours. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain at all. I've really had an enjoyable Thanksgiving and getting back into the swing of things this week.
Good.
Oh, thank you very much. You too.
Been trying to shower regularly. Yeah, I'm rested. I'm kind of back at it. But yeah, gonna be a big week this week. So looking forward to it.
Anyway, he's back in the saddle, ready to go. And let's see, where do we start? Again, I know my headset's out. Thanks for all the calls, and we'll get it fixed. But tomorrow will be a Champion Chevrolet. Friday will be at Food City in Bristol on Virginia Avenue. The Food City Friday with a big, fantastic one-day sale. We'll tell you all about that tomorrow. Tennessee football. I've called it all week long. Norfolk and Southern Railway, because it is a train wreck in Knoxville. And what is the latest? What are you hearing? And what's the take? What's your take on all this?
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen, in a coaching search, because, what's basically happened now is the fans have a seat at the table, and not just like the whole fan base, because, I'll tell you this, Tennessee fans, I really enjoy, because we're surrounded by Tennessee fans here, a lot of them, and they're good people, and most of them are extremely knowledgeable. There's 5 to 10% of every fan base that, they're the knuckleheads of the fan base, and they're the ones most likely to get on Twitter, and kind of give the whole fan base at times a bad name. So, what happened was the Tennessee administration made a decision about a guy that was vetted very heavily, by Ohio State recently, and they go out and they get Schiano to where he's not going to get hired, and he was on the verge of it. So, I think what you're looking at now, if you're Tennessee and the administration that's allowed this to happen, they better hope the fan base likes the next guy coming up, because they've been so vocal. It's kind of validated that they have a say in the decision. And I think if you are hiring a football coach at any institution, you can't have your fan base, the portion of them on Twitter, making decisions for the entire program. So I think that's kind of a dangerous precedent. That's the road they've gone down, and that's kind of my concern. And I think that's why a guy like Mike Gundy has kind of gotten cold feet and decided, well, I'm not going to go there. That seems to be a little bit of a mess. I think there's a national perception that Tennessee's kind of a toxic environment right now if you're a football coach coming in. So that leaves them in a situation where they're not looking at as good of a football coach even as Butch Jones was, I think. And you pay him $8 million to go away, and you hire somebody that's not a really big upgrade. I think that's a bad situation.
I think the word's out about Tennessee football, whether you want to concede that or not. I think it's not as the coach's eyes anyway. I mean, you've got 6 guys that told him no, and it's pretty good pedigree. Chip Kelly and Dan Mullen and David Cutcliffe, former ball, and now Mike Gundy. So I still say Gundy played him a little bit to get a pay raise, but that's just me. I have nothing to base it on except this. He entertained talking to him, saw the pay raise coming up, and went back to T-Bone Pickens and said, I kind of like being Oklahoma State's coach. I said, we like you too. Let's give you a little bit of a pay raise. But it is a train wreck, no question. And so what I'm afraid of, and we talked about this yesterday on the show, this may set a precedent. Pandora's box is open now. Now every fan base in America, because of what happened in Tennessee, if the administration lets them, will suddenly have input on the hiring decisions, and I think it's just very, 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 very bad thing for college sports.
Yeah, and you mentioned it right there. You hit the nail on the head when you said if the administration lets them. I think that's that hits it on the head, because I think a lot of people are trashing Tennessee fans now in general, all of them, and saying, well, Tennessee fans is why nobody wants to come here and coach. That's not the case. What it is the small percentage of the fan base that was so vocal on Sunday that made the administration kind of back down over the hire they were going to make. What that shows other coaches is not that the fan base is bad, it's that there's very weak leadership at Tennessee in the athletic director position and pretty much all the entire administration that's involved in this coaching decision. If they do their research, they get it down, and they're to the point where they are sending that the letter of understanding to a prospective coach. That means they've got everything hammered out, and they're ready to hire the guy. And all of a sudden they back down. That shows you as a coach that if you go there, you're not getting any support from your administration. And if the fans are loud enough, they'll back down again. Even though it's not realistic, looking at the situation at Tennessee now, for them to be contending for SEC championships for the near future. I mean, this is a 5-year rebuild again, is what you're looking at. So, and they see that there's not really a patience in the fan base for that, and they see that the administration's not going to be, they don't have enough steel in their spine to stand there and support you as a head coach through a couple rough years ahead when there's attrition to the team and you're having a hard time recruiting at the same level Butch Jones was. So it's not the fans that are to blame. It's an extremely weak administration.
Right. I agree with you 100%. So let's run down some of the players in all this scenario. Get your takes on number one, John Curry. Does he fall on the sword? Is he going to make it? Is he going to be gone? He's got a $5 million buyout.
Yeah, there's no way that he can make it. I mean, I don't understand, how you could look at this guy and say, okay, we're gonna let him go forward as the leader of the athletic department. I mean, he essentially handed that away when he backed down on a hire he was getting ready to make. That was a done deal, and the pressure on Twitter was enough. He backed away, and I think that's a guy you can't have moving forward leading your athletic department. I think. I would go get Phil Fulmer at this point. I mean, it's bad enough at Tennessee where they need to really circle the wagons. They don't need to look to bring outsiders in. You make Fulmer your AD, and he comes out and says, "You leave me alone and let me hire a football coach, and I'm going to get you a good football coach, and it's going to be somebody with ties to this university." And it doesn't matter at this point who that is. Don't go outside and bring somebody into this because they are never going to have any support.
Off, so but I don't think people can hear me, but my angle was put Fulmer as the head coach for a year, maybe two, circle the wagons, go get a T. Martin, bring him in as offensive coordinator, groom him, tell everybody up front that this is a 1 year or 2 year gig, kind of smooth the waters out. It's a PR nightmare. You got a ball for life back in there. Fulmer can pick up the phone and put together pretty fast coaching staff. He can go get the kid from Knox Catholic and keep him from decommitting. Somewhere else. To me, that's the quick fix for all this. It's short term, but it sure does from a PR standpoint. You didn't like him before, but he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. Well, you know how bad it is when even Lane Kiffin's looking pretty good right now. I mean, that guy, they burned a lot of mattresses and couches on the night he decided to leave town, and there was a lot of hard feelings. And now you have a significant portion of the fan base who is saying, man, we'd be okay if Lane Kiffin came back now. He learned his lesson. We may have learned our lesson over these last few years. Let's get back together. Not that I think that's a good idea. I'll point you an example, what you're talking about with Fulmer. If you look at Wisconsin over the years, they've gone through some coaching turnover. When Bielema left them to go to Arkansas, that kind of caught him off guard. I believe Alvarez at that point coached a bowl game even, and they made Barry Alvarez their athletic director, which I think is a smart move for any school. I think that the mistake a lot of these schools are making is going away from having football coaches or strong figures like that who are the athletic director, because those people can take heat, and they've built up a lot of goodwill with the fans as well. They might not have the marketing savvy or the business savvy of a lot of these this new wave of athletic directors, but in times like this, they're really good to have around. Alvarez would come in and coach the team for bowl games and be a strong presence, and also with him in charge of hiring football coaches. If you look at the continuity of what Wisconsin did 20 years ago to what they do now, they have a style of football their fans like, and he's the guy that established it. And what he can do is he can hire coaches and bring them in and mentor them to coach that style of football. And where they're at right now, they're in the college football playoffs. They've weathered a couple coaching hires since Alvarez left. They've weathered that pretty well. And departures and things happening, they've kept it on a pretty even keel and have a lot to show for it. That's a Tennessee model right there. And I agree with what you say. Maybe Fulmer does coach next season, and maybe they do bring in some of these old players who are now assistants, and they look at amongst the group and say, okay, here's the brass ring, this coaching job. A year or two, I'm going to step away, and one of you guys is going to get it. Who's going to work hard enough to make that happen? Make it, healthy competition. Next thing you know, you have a bunch of guys around the program that everybody likes, and they're the ones that can kind of rebuild it into the image of what it was, because they've really lost their identity at this point.
It's working 4 miles down the road at East Tennessee State. Carl Torbush doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that he brought the program back, and so he's going to ride off into the sunset here in the not too distant future. So that's what I do. If I'm Tennessee, I hire from then, I circle the wagons, and I get some people that bleed orange and go go from there. Other players in this scenario, UT Chancellor, Beverly Davenport, brand new on the scene, leadership skills. Where do you see her in all this?
Well, I think more of it falls on the athletic director because, this is the athletic director's primary job. I mean, obviously you have people in the administration who have a say in that decision, but, when you're hired as an athletic director, this is your primary job at an SEC school, is to be sure that you're doing a good job of hiring and firing football coaches. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where your job security lies, and he's really botched it. I think at this point, you look at it and not a very clear plan. People criticize their hiring over the last few where, you see their 6 or 7 top candidates fall by the wayside, and then they're in full scramble mode, and that's where they're at now. And so I don't blame the chancellor as much as I blame the athletic director in this whole thing.
They're almost back to the Butch Jones type hire now because all the marquee names, the big boys, are gone. I mean, there's Jim Moore from UCLA, he's still out there. Nobody's talking Les Miles, Todd Graham's Arizona State, Kevin Sumlin. Some of the guys got canned, they're out there. But we had earlier in the show that Mississippi State named their new coach,
Moorhead, yeah. I'm glad he's gone out of the Big Ten. That guy's an offensive genius, and that's a great hire for them. Every situation and every coaching, every program's in a different place. I think Tennessee's in a place now where they're just yearning to reestablish their identity, and it's the identity they had under Fulmer, under Majors, stretching on back, and they've lost that. And I think you have to bring in somebody with ties to the school at this point in order for them to have the patience to rebuild that.
A couple other players in all this scenario. Give me your take on Greg Schiano. Is he tainted? Is he ruined as a potential head coach?
The thing about
is there legal ramifications towards Tennessee because of it?
Well, he's a guy who he hasn't gotten a look from anybody else. That's why it kind of surprised me that when unless Tennessee behind the scenes had extended some offers that got rebuffed, Schiano was very high on the list. He's higher than the Purdue coach who they're talking to right now, and some of these others, but nobody else is pursuing him. That's the thing I think that drove Tennessee fans crazy as well. This is a guy that's not like a hot name out there on the market. He's a good defensive line coach. I mean, he's done a great job, in his year at Ohio State. But there's a guy that just had a disastrous tenure in the NFL, and nobody's touched him since. So. Not a hot prospect. I think if he wants to coach, he's going to have to coach. It's not going to be SEC. It might be Conference USA or somewhere, and he's going to have to rebuild his reputation as a head coach.
All right, a couple more. We had an announcement earlier today that ESPN had 150 more go today, cut them off the payroll, mostly behind the scenes. But obviously that's a house of cards beginning to crumble at ESPN. So having said that, nobody's saying any more about John Gruden. He was a talk for 3 or 4 weeks, and now where's he in all this?
Yeah, he's had to have turned them down. Just from the fact that everybody, is kind of that trail's really gone cold, and there's no pursuit of him. There's no record of them even reaching out anymore at this point. I think they got the firm no on that situation. I think there's a guy who will coach again. I think what he's watching really closely right now is the Tampa Bay situation down there with the Buccaneers, because that team's really struggling with a lot of talent. And, if you watch the quarterback show he does on TV, you can tell he really likes Jameis Winston a lot. And I think would like to coach Winston and would like to do it there in Tampa and at the NFL level. Like he said, and he's on the record, he said, you want me coaching your college team because they don't have enough hours. They only give you a certain amount of hours per week to put him in meetings and all that. He said, I'd be in all sorts of trouble with the NCAA within a year if I were your coach, and I don't think he wants to recruit either. So that whole deal, I think, was a little bit of a pipe dream. I think he'll coach, but it'll be in the NFL.
As they say back home, when things go bad, the shine is off the apple. Is the shine off the apple Tennessee? Is it not we think it is because we're in Tennessee, we live in Tennessee, we think it's a great situation. But in the coaching circles, has it suddenly become, as you use the toxic fan base, that's what you said, toxic.
It's a toxic situation. I think what you have is you have a frustrated fan base, and rightfully so. To go through, the last few years of a coach that just spits out catchphrases and does not, he creates all the hype, and then the teams don't live up to it. And nothing will drive a fan base crazier faster than that. And what they've had to endure and go through, I understand it being frustrated. So that's part of what coaches are looking at and saying, this is going to be a rough situation. That you can handle a fan base like that if you know that you have unwavering support from the leadership, and that's what it goes back to. If they're going to do this to Schiano the way they did, I think what's going to happen is, people are going to look at their coaches are going to look at that and say, if I come here, I'm not getting a fair shake. It's just they're not going to support me if I lose 6, 7, 8 games. It's over with. And I'm not going to get a chance, and I'm going to be back out there and probably have a worse job than what I started with. So, yeah.
Some names here I want to get your take on some of the championship games too. We're talking to our buddy Dave Monge, and I'll be doing our final championship Chick-Fil-A 5-star football preview show tomorrow night. We're going to wrap it up with a update on the Bucks, update on the Hokies, our buddy Chris, get an update on, of course, Tennessee with Kevin Harmon. We'll also get probably a look at the state college or state high school football championship games.
Yep.
Some of those tomorrow night. Greenville plays on Friday. Good luck to Cade Ballard, who got named the Mr. Football and 4A football across the state. Very deserving. So pull up for Greenville now after everybody else is out. I want somebody from Northeast Tennessee to win it all. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Of course, lots of college football. We're playing Carmichael the top 5 games of the week. We've got them right here. Pac-12, Stanford or USC? Who do you like there?
I'm picking Stanford in this ball game. Great running game, and I'll pick a great running game over a passing game 9 times out of 10. So, I think Stanford will get the job done.
AAC Championship, Memphis, Central Florida.
I'm going with Central Florida. Big fan of Scott Frost, big believer in him. I think it's a done deal. He's going to Nebraska. I wonder if that'll be a distraction for the team. That would be the only thing I think that would allow Memphis to sneak in there and win that one.
Pull one out of the hat of potential Tennessee coach Jimbo Fisher. Obviously, they're making a story earlier in the show. They were getting ready to go talk to Willie Taggart in South Florida in the event that Jimbo leaves for Texas A&M. Why doesn't Tennessee talk to Jimbo Fisher or Les Miles or Kevin Sumlin?
Well, Les Miles is the one I don't understand. I don't understand why they won't go talk to Les Miles, because that guy won a lot in that league. He's not a long-term solution, but man, what a good stopgap that would be. He's an older coach. He gets it done, gets wins. So I don't know why they're not talking to him. Jimbo Fisher, I think everybody knows, is going to Texas A&M. That's going to be a huge deal too. He's going to make a lot of money. They've got some deep pockets down there. They take it real seriously in Texas. A lot of boosters, and he's going to get paid. I think he takes that job.
Les Miles wins in the SEC West.
Yes.
It's a tough division. Wins the national
It is.
championship. So this guy's proven not hearing anything. Maybe he's just sitting out overtures like, I'm sitting home getting a paycheck every month, LSU, I don't care.
Yeah, I think he likes television too, and I think Les Miles, and here's an interesting thing too, just talking about college football a little bit. We kind of debated this over Thanksgiving with my family. Corso's getting close to being done at ESPN. I've heard this could be his last year on game day. Who do you pick to fill that seat? We were talking, the dream picks would be Steve Spurrier. Les Miles is on that list as well. So you have to wonder, if Les Miles isn't jumping out here into this coaching race with a lot of good jobs open this year, you wonder if there's something going on behind the scenes where he may be set to move into that, which is a really fun job to do, really well-paying job, and I think he'd be suited for it. So something to think about.
One of my favorite Leonard Skinner songs. I'm a big Skinner fan. There's things going on that you don't know. Love that song. I think that's what's happening with Les Miles. Happened a lot of things. Big 12 championship, Texas Christian, Oklahoma. Sooners or the Horned Frogs?
Oklahoma gets it done, man, and they go to the playoffs too. So that's what I believe.
SEC championship, Georgia, Auburn.
Oh wow, that's a tough game. A month ago, I wouldn't have believed you that Auburn was going to be there, and I would have easily picked Georgia if you told me that happened. But I think the momentum right now seems to be on Auburn's side. I think their defense is going to be better, and defense wins championships. Going Clemson in this one. I think Miami got exposed. I don't think they're a physical enough football team at this point in time to be able to beat Clemson.
Ohio State, Wisconsin. You haven't said much about that game last week. I kind of skirted.
Was there? I ate a lot of turkey and I took a nap, and there was a ball game last week. Well, in this one I'll go ahead and I'm going to pick Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's a more physical football team up front than Ohio State is. And I'll be critical of Wisconsin for not playing anybody, but they're playing somebody this week, and that'll be enough to And a win over Ohio State, I think, will propel them and put them in the playoffs.
Top four right now: Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin. If you remember the old Cowboy told you about 6 weeks ago, keep an eye on Wisconsin. This team's
Yep.
real, and they are. Now, they're in the hunt. They're 12-0. Ohio State 10-2. Oklahoma 11-1. They only lost to Ohio State. Auburn, of course, Auburn rolling into the game at 10-2, losing to Clemson and lost to.
Was it LSU?
Yeah. Their only loss was to
Clemson lost to
Alabama.
No.
They lost to
Syracuse, of all people. Yeah, but that was the game. Their starter was out. Bryant wasn't able to play. He had a bad ankle, then got a concussion right before halftime, and up in the Carrier Dome, that was too much for them to overcome. So that's a bad loss for Clemson, but it's their only loss. So the interesting case study here is Alabama. Does Alabama get in despite the fact that they're sitting home this weekend and not playing in a championship game? That's going to be interesting to see how the selection committee handles that one.
Yeah, they did lose LSU 27-23, I believe, on Remo riding right.
Yeah.
Auburn lost in Baton Rouge 27-23. Orgeron and LSU. So
That was when LSU really started to turn it around, because if you remember, people were talking about buying out Orgeron before that ball game. So, yeah, it's strange. I love it every year because you never know what's going to happen. So.
crazy society. You know, I was telling a guy last night at dinner, we're all worked up over Tennessee football, and I guess we should to a point. But from a priority standpoint, we got our boy over in North Korea says he's got a missile that can drop in on the United States at any time, interballistic with a nuclear warhead on it.
Yeah.
He's crazy enough to push the button to do it. So I'm thinking, which should I be paying more attention to here in the long run?
Yeah.
Tennessee football, or the Final Four here, or the guy in North Korea that can drop a bomb over here and change everything instantly.
That's what has been great to me about sports, though, is the diversion of it. You know, because it gives you something to focus on. Because it would be hard not to have that as a diversion at times, and last night being a good prime example of that. So.
Real quick, NASCAR news: Elliott Sadler named the most popular driver in the Xfinity Series for the second straight year. Chase Briscoe named the most popular driver in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and Kyle Larson picks up a huge sponsor. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR, is going to be his primary sponsor next year, replacing Target. So NASCAR is in that awards night going on this weekend.
Yep.
I guess it's tomorrow night, the big awards night, and they'll name, of course, crown Truex officially as the champion. Vote for the most popular driver. I cannot imagine it won't be Dale Jr. in his final year. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it definitely is, and then the battle begins to see who it's going to be next year. You know, which I would, if I had to bet, I would bet Chase Elliott. Yeah, and he kind of hammered that home with his feud with Denny Hamlin. I mean, I think for a lot of people that was an interesting moment at Martinsville, where I think Chase Elliott really got elevated in the eyes of a lot of fans, and a lot of fans really got excited by him in that race, even though he didn't win. And I think Denny Hamlin, who's tried to be a nice guy for most of his career, kind of got painted as a villain, and he may never shake that for the remainder of his career. Sometimes in NASCAR, it's all about if you feud with the wrong person, you never live it down, and I think he may be in that situation.
Keep hearing Matt Kenseth's going to, recently, last week, Dale Jarrett said Kenseth's going to take Kurt Busch's spot in Stewart-Haas Racing. That's why the contract had been signed. They want him to take a pay cut, and he is bucking up and saying, I don't want to take a pay cut.
Yeah.
I'm proving myself, and so possibility that Kenseth may jump over there and jump in that seat.
Yeah, you know, Kenseth to me, I think, is a driver at this point of their careers has more upside than Kurt Busch does. I think recent success is more in Kenseth's favor than it is in Kurt Busch. And let's face it, I mean, you have to deal with some things personality-wise with Kurt Busch that Kenseth doesn't bring to the table. I think Kenseth has more leadership in terms of helping other drivers, instead of trying to bring Almirola in there and mentor him. Kenseth's the guy that does that. The other thing about Matt Kenseth, his connections to Ford, his connection to Ford goes back a long way, back into his time in the Xfinity Series. Even as a short track racer, he raced Ford. So it was kind of weird to see him in the Toyota anyway. So that all kind of leads me to believe you may see that move happen. It would make a lot of sense.
Kenseth is a sponsor for life, too. This guy works well with sponsors love him.
Yep.
Not saying they don't with Kurt Busch, but obviously something's up, because it's been going on since the August race. They still haven't nailed down anything. And so now, into the off-season, the awards week, and Still no official signing of Kurt Busch, so with each passing day, I'm thinking it's looking better that there's going to be a change.
Well, Kenseth, the use that he is to Stewart-Haas too is that he's leverage. They tell Kurt Busch, they can say, hey man, we got Matt Kenseth, he's a champion too. He's about the same age you are. We got him sitting out in the wings, and you'll sign this contract. Are you going to take the pay cut, or are we going to go our separate ways? So, that's the situation. If you're Kurt Busch, you don't want to be there because your market value just went down. So you either have to sign for less, or you get to go home.
So he may be going home.
He could be. Somebody's going home for the holidays, him or Kenseth, one or the other. So. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go get myself some food. It's gonna be a good time. So. I will. All right.
Good man right there. Again, our buddy Dave Bonch. Love having him on the show. Again, so much to the show, as does Greg Salyer, as does Jeremy Livesey. So, again, we appreciate these guys very much. Needless to say, couldn't do the show without them. We do apologize again about the headset that went out. I have no clue why, but we're going to get that fixed here in about 2 minutes, hopefully, and be right back ready to go tomorrow. We'll be live at Champion Chevrolet tomorrow, and on Friday we'll be on the road at Food City, Virginia Avenue. Fantastic Friday sale coming up at all Food Cities. We'll tell you all about that tomorrow and really hammer it home on Friday. So looking forward to, again, being back with you tomorrow from, again, Champion Chevrolet and the Bristol Highway Motor Mile in Johnson City at championjc.com. Again, we dedicate our show to the Lord Jesus. It's his show. And so, again, our verse of the day is, and has been, Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear. I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." There we go. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Don't forget to go to the Chick-Fil-A CFA JC Facebook and Instagram to find out how you can get qualified to win tickets to go to the Chick-Fil-A Peach Bowl on New Year's Day. Giving away 2 tickets on this show, December the 20th. Can't wait. And so you get in there and get yourself signed up and ready to go. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. So for Connie and all the folks here at Chick-fil-A, till we greet you tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet and the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. This is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 643 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.